When my mother told me we couldn't afford Christmas for the children this year, I nodded in agreement. I opened Facebook later that day. Her living room was overflowing with presents. My sister's kids were tearing into high-end packages. My daughter murmured, "Mom, why didn't Santa visit us?" I took a picture of their mortgage payment and typed, "Canceled." At 8:45 a.m., my mom was at my door banging loudly. When she said we'd skip Christmas because funds were low, I didn't protest. I understood. Groceries were expensive. Rent was climbing. Everyone was struggling. I didn't expect miracles. She teared up while explaining, saying it hurt not to have gifts for the grandkids, but we'd have a cozy breakfast together. Be thankful. Keep it simple. I hugged her and promised to bring cinnamon buns. My daughter Kay is 6, still enchanted by the holiday magic, leaving out cookies and listening for sleigh bells. She didn't need heaps of toys, just the sense that someone thought of her. I gave her one present that morning: sparkly pajamas and a small snow globe from a thrift shop. She beamed and said she loved it, not complaining once. I thought, maybe this is enough, maybe we're okay. Then I made the mistake of checking Facebook. At the top of my feed, my sister Lindsay's live video played automatically, hitting me like a punch. My mom's living room, not mine, was decked out, trees sparkling, fire crackling, and piles of wrapped gifts being opened by Lindsay's 3 kids. Laughter shrieks wrapping paper everywhere, brand name items, Apple, Nike, Lego, Beats. One of her twins held up a PS5. In the background, my mom laughed, filming it all on her phone, looking overjoyed. I stared, frozen. My heart raced, caught between anger and disbelief. Kay watched too, silent at first, then whispered, "Mom, why didn't Santa come here?" I couldn't answer. My fingers moved on their own, taking screenshots, the post, the gift pile, then my bank app. December 3rd, $2,400 sent to my mom. Memo, "Mortgage, love you." I lingered on that screen. Then I posted 2 images on Facebook, the payment and their lavish Christmas, with one word: canceled. I shut off my phone, thinking that might end it. It didn't. At 8:45 a.m., my mom was at my door, pounding. Hair messy, slippers on, coat half open like she'd rushed out. She stormed inside, shouting about how I dared to share private matters online, that I didn't understand Lindsay's kids needed a proper Christmas because they'd been through so much. She called me petty, said I made her look dishonest. I stood there silent. When she stopped, I asked one question: "Did you use my mortgage money for their gifts?" She didn't confirm or deny, just looked at the floor, then at Kay, muttering about balancing things out, how Lindsay's kids would have been devastated otherwise. I told her to leave, that was it. But the anger didn't fade, it simmered. This wasn't the first time, just the most blatant. The proof was undeniable. I decided then that if they wanted me out of their holiday story, I'd grant their wish, but slowly letting them feel it. I didn't explain myself, the post said enough. The silence that followed spoke volumes. Lindsay didn't text, neither did my mom. 2 days after Christmas, Lindsay shared a story. Her kids playing with shiny new gadgets, eating fancy food off festive plates. Caption: "Some people need to stop being bitter and celebrate others' joy." She knew what she was doing. I didn't respond. I watched and waited. They probably thought I'd calm down, sweep it under the rug like always, play the role they'd cast me in. The reliable one, the giver, the one they leaned on. But this time, they'd crossed a line they didn't even see. So I started small. They were on my phone plan, Mom, Dad, even Lindsay's oldest. I cut all 3 lines. That night, my mom texted from Lindsay's number. "Our phone stopped working. Is there an outage?" I didn't reply. Next, I logged into our shared Costco account, one I'd added them to years ago when Dad retired and money was tight. I revoked their access. Days later, Dad left a voicemail. Tried buying some stuff, but the card didn't work. Maybe a mistake. There was no mistake. I paid their January mortgage, curious to see how long they'd act like nothing happened. Maybe they thought my post was a fleeting outburst. But they stayed silent. No thank you, no text, nothing. They took the money and vanished. That silence told me everything. In February, I stopped the grocery money. I used to order Mom's weekly and Stackart list. This time, nothing. A week later, she texted, "Hey, sweetie, just checking in. Things are tight. Any extra for groceries would help." I stared, then replied, "Kay says hi." 3 dots appeared, then vanished. No response. Then my Uncle Tony messaged, asking me to chip in for Lindsay's birthday dinner, calling it a family event. I sent him a screenshot of a Gucci box from their Christmas post. No words. He left me on read. By mid-February, Lindsay texted, "Mom says you're acting strange. You okay?" Then a longer one, "I know you're upset, but this is too much. The kids miss Kay. I miss her. Let's talk." I ignored both. Her next message was a cautious voicemail, soft, like she was trying a new tone, saying she didn't want things to spiral, that family stays above drama. I blocked her. Then Mom texted about her car making noises, asking for repair money. I left her on read. That weekend, Dad called. I almost didn't answer, but I did. He started calm, wanting to visit, talk it out. I said no. Then the real reason slipped. So you're just letting the house go just like that? I said yes. He went silent. I hung up. 3 days later, Lindsay posted a quote, "Cutting people off doesn't make you heartless. It makes you honest." I almost laughed. But they weren't done. They crossed another line I didn't think they'd touch. By March, it was quiet. No calls, no texts, just heavy, calculated silence. They were waiting for me to break. I kept paying the mortgage, testing if they'd pretend nothing happened while cashing it. They did every time. No thank you, not even an emoji. I knew they were talking behind my back. My cousin Angela said Lindsay told people I was going through something and needed space. Patient, she called herself. Then Easter came. I planned something small for Kay, plastic eggs, a little basket, some chocolates. We were painting on the porch when her iPad pinged. She rarely gets messages, only from me, her teacher, or 2 cousins. I checked. It was a video from Mom. Lindsay's kids held giant Easter baskets, branded toys, gift cards, even cash. Mom's voice said, "Thank the Easter Bunny, this is what love looks like." One twin asked, "Will we see Kay?" Mom replied, "Not this year, her mommy's being difficult again." I stood there, gripping the iPad. Kay watched it all, then walked inside without a word. That's when it broke me. They weren't just about money, they were making my daughter feel left out. Less than, I opened my laptop, canceled the mortgage payment. No warning, no note. Let them figure it out when it bounced. I called a locksmith, changed every lock. By April, things escalated. Lindsay emailed, saying she didn't understand why I was hurting the family, teaching Kay to hold grudges. I didn't reply. Then Mom did something unthinkable. She showed up at Kay's school, listed as an emergency contact from years ago. She left a gift bag at the office, a doll, candy, a card saying, "Grandma loves you no matter what Mommy says." I lost it. I called the school, removed her from all lists, barred her from contact. That night I blocked her everywhere, phone, Facebook, email. No more slow cuts, total severance. I didn't care if they begged or if the house was lost. They weren't done though. People like them don't fade quietly. Weeks passed with no contact, just tense silence. I focused on Kay. Spring brought a new rhythm, art class pickups, smoothies, her chatter about birds she painted, or a girl who wouldn't share glitter glue. No guilt trips, no jabs. Peace finally. Then late April I found a plain envelope in my mailbox. Shaky cursive, no return address. Inside, a printed draft will, my parents' names, dated last week. It left everything, house, belongings, assets, to Lindsay, who remained faithful. Nothing for me, Lucy, who chose to separate herself. A post-it note read, "You made your choice." So did we. I stared, not caring about the house I'd partly paid for, but stunned at their victim act. I slid it into a drawer, poured wine, and moved on. Then came emails from old coworkers, distant friends. "Your mom said you're struggling, hope you're okay. Your sister mentioned you're acting off, I'm here." They were crafting a story, I ignored it. Then Kay brought home a flyer from art class, a church food drive with a sticky note. "God doesn't abandon family, maybe you shouldn't." I called the center. They'd had complaints. A woman loitered in the parking lot watching kids, claiming she waited for her granddaughter. They were checking footage. I knew it was Mom. That night, a burner Facebook account, "Family First," messaged, "Your daughter doesn't deserve this, she needs us, you'll regret this." I didn't block it, I wanted to see their next move. For 3 days, messages poured in. Old family photos, Easter decorations, a video of Mom with a basket saying, "We love you, Kay." A voice memo of slow breathing, footsteps on gravel. They were toying with me. I wasn't scared. I started a Google Doc, logging everything. Dates, screenshots, the will, the flyer, names of people they contacted. I called my cousin Tara, who'd always called Mom manipulative. She wasn't shocked, but said something chilling. Lindsay told a friend I'd lost everything, was having a breakdown, that Kay wasn't in school, and CPS might step in. They were ready to save her. Tara's friend, a paralegal, said sending a fake will through mail was mail fraud, coercion, traceable. Tara offered help organizing evidence, maybe filing a restraining order. This wasn't just a ruined Christmas. It was a campaign to break me, paint me as unfit. They didn't know who they were dealing with. The next day, I made 3 moves. First, I switched school communication to a new email, removing all emergency contacts except me and Kay's godmother. Second, I installed cameras, front porch, backyard, hallway, not expecting a visit, but something worse. Third, I met a family lawyer, showed him everything. The fake will, messages, burner account, flyer, art center reports. He asked if they'd contacted Kay directly. I mentioned the gift bag, videos, photos. He said, file a restraining order, not just for you, for her. It felt like control shifted. I wasn't reacting, I was protecting. A week later, I filed. I didn't tell them, the court would. When Mom got the notice, she left a 2-minute voicemail, crying, accusing me of twisting things, punishing them for loving Kay too much. She claimed Kay missed them, didn't understand why I was doing this. But Kay hadn't said that. She was happier, sleeping better, talking about friends and summer plans. They were lying about her words to manipulate me. That night I asked Kay if she missed Grandma's Christmas. She shrugged. It was loud and they didn't like my doll. No tears, no confusion. The next day, I blocked every remaining number, closed my old Facebook, opened a private one with no last name or photos. I slightly altered Kay's last name at school, legally documented to keep her hidden. 2 weeks later, a certified letter arrived, my name slightly misspelled, from an Arizona P.O. box. Inside, a photo of me in my driveway taken from a car window. No note, no name. I sent it to my lawyer, who forwarded it to the police. They traced the P.O. box to a fake ID with footage showing a woman resembling Lindsay. They were investigating. I didn't cry or panic. I stared out the window. They'd escalated to stalking. The law was involved now. Tara said to stay calm, that I'd done everything right, but warned they wouldn't let go easily. People like them never do. I believed her. They'd try again. But I was ready. On a Monday morning with cereal and cartoons, my phone buzzed, blocked number. I declined. It buzzed 6 times in half an hour. Then a text from Lindsay slipping through via a third-party app. She'll hate you when she's older. We would have given her everything. You stole that. My hand stayed steady. I set the phone down, poured Kay's juice. Later, the school called. Someone claiming to be my mom tried picking up Kay, sitting fac, alleging an emergency. When asked for ID, she left. Footage showed a woman matching Mom's build and walk. I called my lawyer, then the police. Attempted custodial interference. Restraining order violation. I gave them every piece of evidence. That was their last in-person attempt, but not their last move. I found it by chance on Kay's old drawing app, unused for months. Hidden in saved drafts were messages. Hi, sweetheart, we miss you. Santa saved your gifts here. Mommy won't let us talk, but we love you. Write back, it's our secret. They hadn't sent them, hoping she'd see them later. Worse, they'd uploaded old family photos, voice notes, pictures of her old room at their house to the cloud. I asked Kay if she'd seen them. She nodded, saying she didn't tell me to spare my feelings. That shattered me. That night, I wiped the tablet, bought a new one, locked it down, changed every account and password. I told Kay some people, even those who love us, make unsafe choices. We're not angry, just done. She asked, so they're not coming back? I said, no, not anymore. She smiled, asked to bake cookies. That night, another burner account messaged, she'll never forgive you. I replied with one word, blocked it, deleted the app, and gave the evidence to my lawyer. That was when I knew I'd done enough. 4 months later, no calls, no texts, no strange letters or guilt trips. They still try, a forwarded message, a story to someone who believes them. An old coworker said Mom claimed I was emotionally abusing Kay, praying for her rescue. They never say it to me directly. They never will. But they lost. I didn't just walk away, I sealed every door behind me. Kay's happy, healthy, laughing freely, drawing comics about a superhero with laser eyes and a psychic puppy that defeats villains. Sometimes, as she drifts to sleep, she whispers, I'm glad it's just us. So am I. They thought I was weak because I gave, cared, sacrificed. They didn't see that when I stopped, I could dismantle their world with one choice. No more, and I meant it.